Island tide, yes, we feel away, yeah. How can you turn and walk away, yeah, yeah. Yes, we feel away, yeah, yeah. How can you turn and walk away, yeah, yeah. Oh yes, the world is getting warmer. The iceberg in my melt away. Oh, the earthquake in my room, creating waves of a tsunami. There's a hunger for change, coupled with equality. Only for wrong, them must be right, yeah, yeah, yeah. There's an appetite for humanity straight down the line, yeah. Feel we plate still empty, yeah. That will to survive, yes, we feel away, yeah. How can you turn and walk away, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, we feel away, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, son.
Howdy, howdy.
Hi, guys.
Howdy.
Try the new link. Try the new link that I sent you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
There's a hunger for change, hunger for justice. Only for wrong, they must be right, yeah. There's an appetite for humanity straight down the line, yeah. We will place you and take, yeah. That will to survive, yes, we feel away, yeah. How can you turn yourself away, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, we feel away, yeah, yeah, yeah. How can you turn and walk away, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. All right. Yes, good morning, good morning. Oh, Good morning to everybody here on the galaxy of we.net. Let me control some of this together. Right, here we go. We're right into it now. Hold on, just a sec. There we go. Come on. Everything is coming. It's coming in slowly this morning. Jesus. You don't know the struggles, man. You don't know the struggles. Lord of mercy. Oh, here we go. All right, then cool off yourself. All right. Good morning, my sister.
Greetings, Brother Aston.
Oh boy. Restless night, man. Restless night. You know when things need to be done and you just haven't completed what you needed to do, and
Yes,
it's on your mind, on your mind. Pressure I'll lick, man. Pressure I'll lick. Pressure I'll lick.
yeah, but you're still not allowing the pressure just to keep you standing. You're still moving.
Yeah.
Flowing,
Yeah.
pressure, no pressure. You're moving. You're
Maintain.
moving with the pressure. To be fair, and that in itself, I commend you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. At least one person is behind me.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
I
Sometimes you wake up
know.
and think to yourself, am I walking in treacle? Everything seems slow because you think, hang on a minute, this is not happening. This isn't flowing.
Yes,
But it's just moving.
Let me tell. Anyhow. Let's say, you know when you could just bleach and do something. Bleach mean like to go through the night, right? For those who are unfamiliar with our colloquial language. No, but there are some people who don't know.
Yeah, no, I understand. It's a different generation, so they don't understand the language.
So I will speak in my own dialect.
Yes.
My time of when I was young as well, and I may use expressions in them ways. Then again, that's how you tell people's age as well.
True.
Because right now, some of them music there, I don't understand one word what they must say.
I'm on your page on that one. You have to sit down there and you have to think to yourself, does it mean what I think it means?
Yeah.
And it clearly doesn't, because the way that they're singing and you're thinking, okay, that's a completely different language. It's English, but it's a different generation. A different generation brings a different flavor. Let's use that word. A different flavor to that language.
I remember coming across two island boys, right? I can't remember exactly where they're from, but they were just talking in their local twang, yeah. And we basically, I was at the gym, and they were talking away, and I'm thinking, I've never heard this before in my life, and I'm thinking, what language are they actually speaking? And I had to ask. I said, what language are you actually speaking? Right? And they both looked at me and said, we're speaking English. And I looked at them and go, I've never heard them type of talk before in my life. And of course they laughed at me. Right? I said, and even when I'm trying to listen to them again, I just couldn't even pick one word out of it at all. What they were saying. I said, well, Lord Stone. And I go, Lord, I did this going at it, blah, 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 blah. And I was thinking, Lord of mercy. Wow. It wasn't even an accent. It was like a completely different, out of tune sitting for my ears, man. Anyway, look, I apologize for the late start. It's just one of those things, right? And thank you for joining us again this morning. And I know that remind us of the time, because just to show appreciation, because there are many of us who don't really appreciate what you are sacrificing to actually be here with us this morning as well. So, yeah, remind us of your local time, my dear.
My local time, and bearing in mind your clocks are going forward this week.
Yeah.
And It's 2:18 a.m.
2:18. Rockstone. Yes,
Yeah.
you're hearing that. You're hearing that, family. You're hearing that.
2:18
2:18 a.m. in the morning. All right, all right. So you know what? Thank you for joining us this morning, and let's just get straight. Let's just get straight into it. Let's just get straight into it. There's a clip that I just played of an acceptance. This young man, I play again, and he Morehouse, Morehouse, to allow people to understand, right? That there are those who are out here who are working to actually become the optimum person that they want to become, you know, and in them doing that, right? That the whole family is behind them. The whole family is behind them in their quest to actually get an education, right? And you know, whether it be in a university, college, or whatever, right? But it is still an achievement by this young man, right, and the family, right? So I want you to grasp that it's the family as well that was involved in this, right? Let me just play this again, okay? You got this.
Whilst you're queuing that up, I know the clip that you're talking about, and it reminds me of just the fact that it's not only the individual on their own that's doing that celebration, because
Just one second. Right. Yeah. Okay, now I'm back with you now. I'm back with you now, right? I just had to play that clip one more time because, like, wow, what an achievement! What an achievement! You know, it's one of those things that you know that many of our young people work for, right? And just like you know, you could have 1,000, but there could only be like 10 spaces, you know, right? But what I want to emphasize is, do not give up. There's many ways to achieve what you need to achieve, you know? So do not give up. Do not give up. And I know that this is the season, this is the time for those who are looking to go for further education, right? That they're looking to see if they're going to get their chance and opportunity to attend these learning institutions, you know? But do not give up. Do not give up. There's always a way, and there is always a platform for learning as well. You know? Go ahead, my sister. You were saying, go.
But the platform, and you mentioned platform for learning, the platform for learning appears in different ways for different students. So I know the excitement of talking to friends and colleagues recently, waiting for their child to move from their primary school, as I know it, a language I'd use, in terms of secondary school, and then the excitement and the waiting for those results and opening those results and seeing that are they getting their first choice or second choice. For my goddaughter, she got her second choice, and I think back to my older goddaughter who also got her second choice, but she came out of school, she had a brilliant time in the school. She managed to get the exams, do what she needed to do, whereby now it's taken her to where she wanted to go. And even when she was young and she was small, she said she wanted to be a midwife.
Okay.
That was her goal, that was her dream, that's her purpose, that was her calling. So the fact she didn't get into her first choice school didn't deter her. She still had that passion, she still had that dream. She's now working as a midwife. She's finished her qualifications, she's finished the elements of the studies, and she's out there doing what she's doing. And conversations I have with those, like, how many babies have you been present at, and you've managed the birth? And she's still excited by that dream that I remember her talking about when she was younger. Exactly, I saw that clip that you shared with me, and that young man has his dreams and he has his passions, and even though he's doing different things, they're still leading him to his dream and his passion. I almost asked the question in terms of our listeners. Are you waking up this morning, this Monday morning, and thinking about your dreams and your passion? Are you waking up and thinking, you know what, is it a drudgery going in, or is it something I want to be doing because it's something I enjoy and something I love? And if it's not something that you enjoy and you love, then what is it that you enjoy and love? What is it?
Yeah. And the thing is, my sister, right? It takes sometimes, right, that extra bit of push, right, for somebody to come out of their, as we call their comfort zone.
Yes.
Right. Hands up, right? All my working career, or early working career, because I'm going into my second phase now, right? All my early working career, it wasn't a case of that I chose to do that. I just fell into it. It was engineering was a part of what I wanted to do, but it wasn't the whole thing, because I never really investigated exactly what I wanted to do. Although, you get asked that question, oh, what would you like to do? But it never was really that important to me. It wasn't my priority to find out, what I wanted to do. It was a means to an end. So, I had a job, got money, and that's about it. There was no, oh, this is my passion, and this is what I'm going to do. Even when I was like testing vehicles and driving appraisals and things like this, I'll be telling people the type of job I'll be doing, and they go, "Oh, I would love a job like that." And I'm thinking, really? What, driving around in cars? And they go, "Yeah, I would love to do that." And I go, "Wow, okay, all right." But it never, for me, it was just a function. But like now that I'm sort of like given that time to actually say, what exactly you want to do now. Yeah. That's where I'm probably enjoying this side of my working career than what I would be doing, what I was doing previously. Maybe it's more because it's more in tune with who I am and my purpose in that way, Yeah. So but it's one of those things I would say to you: just never give up. Never give up. Always look to improve yourself, some way or another. Every day, learn something new, experience something new. Say yes more than no.
Definitely that one.
Right? Because there's many of us who would do for others, but we don't do for ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I say you say yes more than no.
Yeah.
Because You know, we deserve as much out of life as we would give for others. You
Mm,
know,
mm.
so yeah, you know that. You know. Anyway, don't let me get emotional and all that stuff.
No, it's emotional's healthy, but it's that thought process, as you said, in terms of sometimes we're someone else's biggest cheerleader,
Mm,
and we talk to ourselves in the negative, demeaning, or we just settle
mm,
for something that we're not happy with or we're not passionate about, and we're not,
mm,
as that video showed,
Ever used my
mm,
that young man's jumping up and down and he's excited because he's achieved something, and he's
mm,
still young. And I was reading something, and this is a while ago, and
mm,
I think to myself, okay, so what kind of support did I get? So we didn't have the counselors, we didn't have, let me rephrase that. We
mm,
had the career lessons, and you'd go in there and in my generation, it was a case of you'd speak about what you wanted to do, and you would get leaded down a different path, a completely different path, because it wasn't,
mm,
it's almost like you were encouraged to dumb down. So I fell into
mm,
the civil service, and the beauty about the civil service is that there's over 52 different professions in the
mm,
civil service, and within
mm,
that, I learned skills which are transferable, the opportunity to embrace the learning, not the traditional every year you've got to do your diversity training and you've got to do this training and security training and blah, blah, blah. Not that, but it was a learning on the job, the different
mm,
challenges
mm,
in terms of project managing, in terms of mediating, in terms of learning development and coaching and career coaching. And you think to yourself, those are the things I remember having the conversation with my when I was at school and saying, what do I want to do? I wanted to be a teacher.
mm,
That was the thing I remember. And it was almost like, well, in that generation, it was teachers, you can't do what I'm doing type thing. And I'm thinking, now I'm looking back and thinking, I can, and I am, and I'm still learning, and I'm
mm,
still embracing like I said, those transferable skills. And I would encourage anybody out there that's thinking about, they're doing something, they're waking up, they're going into the 9 to 5, and they're not 100% happy. They didn't jump out of bed. They don't see that 9 to 5 as their purpose. And exactly as
mm,
you said, that you're talking to your friend and they're saying, yeah, they'd love to do that. And you're thinking, this, why?
mm. Yeah,
You,
exactly. Because I just looked at it just as a job, you know,
mm,
um, collecting data or whatever, building vehicles, the science and physics of building the vehicles and everything else. And I just looked at it. It's just a function, you know.
mm,
But you know, even when I was working with some serious enthusiasts.
mm, mm,
Like, man, oh man, hey, it's time to go home now. Okay, yeah, just be another.
mm, mm,
You know, I was working with them type of man there, and I'm thinking, Lord have mercy, tell you what, soon as that clock click, I gone.
mm, mm, mm,
You know, right? Even like in the evening talk, like we would be like working away. Some of them they still be talking about work, and I say, you know what, you ain't hearing one word out of me about work until we
mm.
pass that gate again. Yeah, you know. But you know, everybody has their passion
Mm,
and their priorities type of thing, you
mm,
know.
mm,
um in many ways they I don't know, I was able to work on my own proficiently
mm,
uh most of the time, and a lot of them couldn't understand how I could just work like that. And I
mm,
said, "Oh, I was not with fun because one of the things I always had was that if I'm working on a job and I'm not here tomorrow, another
mm,
person could come in and know exactly how things are going to be put back together, because you know when you pull something apart, and it's something new that nobody really understands. So you've got to write down the instructions and everything like this of how you took it apart, and you know, write down a sequence. So, but that is what fascinated them about me, that they didn't mind picking up a job that I had left, right? Because they knew that everything was there and they could just put it back together easy.
You'd left the breadcrumbs.
Whereas the next man would say that you just got a box of nuts, and then you have to continuously like the procedure to put this thing back together again and all that, you know. But in many ways, it's instilled in me that point of like ensuring that everything is in place. Yeah. Right. So it does flow outside of the work ethic as well, you know, and into life as well. Yeah. So I tried to ease off it of not being so demanding of myself, you know. Hence that's why I was later this morning. But then again, that's one of my things. Anyhow, I've always been late for things. Anyhow, there was one time I was working literally across the road from where I was working, right? And I would say 90% of the time I was late. Right? And it's literally 5 minutes walk across the road from me, where I used to work. I'd be 90% of the time I'd be late. So, you know, it was a cha. I swear to God.
No, I've heard the terminology, and sometimes we are, I would say for myself, too laid back. So if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, you're just late. And there are things that need to happen from a timing point of view on time. And I or we just need to be there and be present whilst we're there. But going back, because I remember reading the Michelle Obama book, Becoming.
Oh, Becoming, yes.
And one of the phrases
that's I never realized. Oh, she's staying up. She's a hard-working woman, Anna. Lord have mercy. Hey. Anyhow, carry on. Continue. Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt your flow. Go on.
At the beginning, because she says that, and we often ask, and I know the question was asked to me, what do you want to be? And it's because of the way that she phrased it in terms of what it's becoming. It's not what you want to be, because what do you want to be almost says, I will know when I get there, and when I get there, I've arrived. But becoming gives an all-encompassing. What do you want? What are you becoming? Because as we go through life, what we currently are adds to what we are becoming going forward. And I just love the phraseology and the terminology rather than what do you want to be? Because that means I'm either never going to get there, which is going to be depressing, or I'm there and I'm not necessarily happy, which again is depressing. But what am I becoming? Because we're always growing. We're always moving forward. As long as we see another day, we give thanks. And then we embrace that new day with whatever learning that we get from that day. So I do love the various, that was what she said at the beginning in terms of talking to the children and talking to the young people as part of her backstory. So, yes, I did like that book.
Okay, I just want to just share another clip, and mainly it's inspired by that young man, right? I want to know where am I going, right? Because we always hear about Morehouse and things like this, right? But how many of us actually know about it, right? So let me just
I consider our greatest responsibility to understand.
Let me just give you something like this. Right?
call this country.
I hope I'm doing that.
When I was approached with the idea of a collection inspired by the heritage and traditions of the timeless dressing of historically
Wow.
Black colleges and universities, it became clear that part of our design sensibility has been missing. This special collaboration with the students, the faculty, and alumni of Morehouse and Spelman colleges, two esteemed institutions attended by our own employees, extends the authenticity of our brand heritage, writing untold chapters in our storytelling. Our portrait of American style and our vision of the American dream would be incomplete without Black experiences like these. I'm so honored to be part of it.
The significance of the Black aesthetic at HBCUs from the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s has a lot to do with self-determination, which is one of the main reasons that so many of us choose to attend HBCUs and to educate our children at HBCUs.
One of the things I'd like to say about the significance of Ralph Lauren seeing us and seeing what our institutions produce, recognizing that for hundreds of years, and for certainly decades, there was an identity placed at majority Ivy schools that people didn't realize were happening in other places.
Howard Thurman, who arrived as a freshman in 1919, said that when he went to chapel for the first time, Dr. Hope was the speaker. He arrived at the podium, and his first words were, "Young gentlemen."
Mm-hmm.
Howard Thurman said the words were startling and literally stabbed the student body with an awareness that they had just been affirmed in a way that was not common. Taking that in, on this little island called Morehouse, Thurman said it poured iron into their spines, and they felt like they were somebody in a way that they had not previous to arriving on campus.
So as Spelman, when we greet our first year students, we say, look to your left, look to your right. Make sure that the person on your left and the person on your right is with you 4 years from now. So you come to Spelman and we know that you're going to be ambitious for yourself. We expect that. But we also expect you to be ambitious for each other. And so the Spelman Sisterhood is more than just a social notion.
Mm-hmm.
It really is core to the values of what we believe our students will take with them when they graduate from here. And that is to understand they have an education for themselves, but they also have a responsibility to a larger community.
Historically, Black colleges and universities provide the kind of cultural awareness that many students don't get before they come to college. We expect our students to leave here and not only do what they are specifically prepared to do, but also to become leaders in the community, the nation, as well as the world.
My mother is also a graduate of Spelman College, so my first entry point into this community was her. My father is a graduate of Morehouse College, so being a Spellhouse couple, it's sort of in my blood to love and respect not just Spelman and Morehouse, but HBCUs in general.
Damn, that's like a Cosby family, isn't it?
And that's what I was thinking. Morehouse is men.
Motivated students.
Say again?
Morehouse is for the men. The men
That's right. And Spelman is for the women, yeah.
It's women. And I was just looking up because I know that from Morehouse, because Spike Lee spoke about Morehouse in one of his movies. And he's a Morehouse alumni.
He's a graduate. Yeah, he's a graduate, yeah.
Yeah. Martin Luther King, Samuel Jackson.
You see?
Oh,
no, but you watch it. One of the things, you know, I know that we speak about, you know, kings and queens, being kings and queens and all that, but foundation of education is very important as well. Not necessarily, as I say, you know, it's not necessarily the institution that you actually do that. It's the quality what you put into yourself as well, right? The standard that you have for yourself as well, and what you expect of others as well. You know, it's hard. It's hard at times to maintain a standard of requirement, right? When there's a lot of that negativity or oppression, outside forces that are swaying you away from your purpose, your desire, your expectations. You know, it's very, very difficult at times. Very, very difficult. You know, even when you've attained what you would seem to be a level of your requirements, right? There'll be always somebody out there who's possibly going to be speaking of a negative connotations towards you in some way or another. It seems to appear to be like that at times, you know, right? Right. Let me just give out the number here. 0203-289-6504. If you want to join us in the conversation here about education, we're going to be on it for about another 10-15 minutes. And then we're going to go to news over there in Jamaica and see what going on over there. So, wow, Jamaica, right? All right. But even here, we had recently the anti-racist demonstration, right? Where everybody come out and say, yes, we are all one, we are one. And we all going to be walking down the street arm in arm, kumbaya, and all them things there, right? And you know how mixed up and blend up them things can be, right? And obviously appropriation, and because there's money involved in that, it's a thing of that. Wow, you know, come on now. If there's money involved, I'm gonna be there because I gotta get my share, you know. Unfortunately, this is how life can be. This is how life can be, you know. But let again allow us to be purposeful in anything that we are putting ourselves into, irrespective if there's the white, gray, yellow, purple, and blue or whatever is there, right? We have to be purposeful in our presence, you know. Stand strong in your presence, right? Yes, we are probably the most predominant and the ones that they think of first when it comes to racist abuse, right? But I can assure you, it goes all different ways, and I think the British or the English speaking people are the best at it. They're the professionals, definitely. They even make it a fashion. You know, they make it a fashion now. You know, so you know, it's one of those things that we hear, and we have to still be fighting against in that way there. But anyhow, let's move it on a little bit from there. What's your opinion on that? Because you know, like as you're residing in Jamaica right now, right? I don't know. Have you come across it recently since your recent visits there?
So what, the racism or the
Yeah,
way?
any form. Yeah.
So there is, or there isn't as much as there was in the past. But,
Wow. Okay.
And this is, for me, I'm looking at from a colorism point of view. That way round. In terms of the lighter you are, the more chance you are going to be getting certain jobs. So now when I look around, you go to the services, banks, and all the rest of it, and it used to be the lighter you are in the past. So now it seems to have leveled itself out in terms of what I'm seeing in terms of the services. They're individuals who look like me, look like you, and anything in between and or either side of. So that's refreshing to see. The thing about the like the news and the media, a lot of those who are prominent's possibly the wrong word, but a number of those who are on the media, they're on during the day on the radio, but they'll also be on the evening in the main news, covering the main news. So there seems to be a small circle, and I need to recognize that I'm on a small island, so there's likely to be a small circle. But a number of those on the radio predominantly, or even those in politics, it appears to be so. A number of them are lawyers, barristers. They are individuals who have gone through the education system and reached the top of their game.
More or less like what we've been saying here, like they come like they're elitists.
Yeah.
If I put it that way.
And just as I said that, I'd need to look and see what the breakdown is in terms from an educational point of view, because all those that a majority, talking about 75-80% of those who go into politics in the UK, they are those who have gone through the private system rather than the public system. So we won't necessarily
look. It's an industry. It's an industry.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. You can maneuver your way into there. They will allow you. They will allow you a certain level, and then it's after that it's cajoling and everything else, right? But at the same time, we need to have to. We'll get a feedback somewhere. Is that from you? Yeah, we need to have a voice of our own, and in our voice of our own, we can actually be expressing our cultural requirements, right? And also, as the chief show yesterday, he was introducing us to this is it ACUP, right? Which is a party, African Continental Union Party. Yeah, I think that's what it was. African Continental Union Party, right? And what it is that you've got this new party that is looking at how they can have a unification right across the continent, right? And it's not an idea too dissimilar to what Galaxy has been speaking about for all these years, right? But obviously, if it's something that's happening or developing in the continent, don't dismiss it. Have a look at it. Because obviously, I personally would love us as diasporians to have a unification party, right? and then be strong enough to say that, you know, well, wherever we are, we're all of one. Yeah, and irrespective if we personally are not from the continent, we are associated with that continent, and we acknowledge that we are one. You know, but I know in time, I feel that it will happen. It will happen, mainly because, right, of the way how this system is happening and acting at this time, right? It is so divisive, so corrupt, and it is basically imploding on itself. So basically, I see it as a free for all, and the way how we all survive and get over this is through forms of unification. Yeah? Siding with your brother and sister who you can see might not necessarily be your actual family, but those of like-minded. Yeah? And then develop and grow and evolve in that way. And use that to go through life, you know? Use that to go through life, because many of us have been disenfranchised over the years through our education, and held back through our workplaces, levels that we should have been surpassing. We just haven't even had a look in on those type of things, you know? But then again, we're supposed to create our own anyway. What's that saying? Was it God bless the child that's got his own? Right? We're supposed to create our own as well. So yeah. What are you saying now on that?
No, I'd agree with that to a point, in terms of that within the UK there'd be many of us who wouldn't necessarily have been encouraged down certain roads. So I was listening, and I'm not sure whether or not it's the same party, but there's a newer party in Jamaica that's talking about and looking to speak to the collective, and recognizing that the current two parties may not necessarily be right for the people in this time, this day and age. But with you saying that, I'm just thinking, the thought that came to my mind was CARICOM, which is a unit of what's the word? The Caribbean as coming together as a collective. My understanding and thinking about it previously. And it's a beautiful idea. We don't necessarily embrace it as much as it can and it should. And there's that divide and conquer. And I remember
I can see you here in the middle.
What? Sorry, go
on. It's almost a divide and conquer. So as much as it was something which was spoken about, before the European Union, in terms of as a group coming together collectively and using the entire weight of the Caribbean in order to grow and develop. And because of the dysfunction, accidentally on purpose, and the divisions accidentally on purpose that were put in, it didn't appear as strong as it can do. And it's those things which become frustrating. But to be fair, that generation, it didn't work in the way that it was potentially meant to work or envisaged it would work. But it's beautiful to know that we still don't give up on those dreams and of those goals of working collectively together.
Exactly. And as they say that, you know what, there has been many a champion out here, world champions, and we're still pushing the barriers of achievement in athletics, academia. We're still pushing those barriers, right? But none of them has done it by themselves.
No.
None of it. They've always had a support, a teacher, a coach, or something, you know, that is out there. And this is the thing that I am extremely guilty of this as well. Don't ask for help, right? Don't. I don't know why, but it's one of those things that I developed over my time. I'm sure that there are many of us who are out there who do things by themselves, and this is why we're not achieving exactly what we need to do, mainly because we don't ask for help, right? But as I say, those who are there and those who are performing at their max, they have a whole team of coaches, right? Support system. They're not just doing it by themselves. They're not doing it by themselves, because like even and that's one of those little things, right? If I little bugbears, you know, when like a woman or a sister would turn around and says, "Yeah, I raised my children all by myself," right? And I said, "Really, by yourself, right?" And when you really break it down, and they say, "Okay, then let's see what you actually do by yourself." Yeah. The only thing is what they're meant to say is that, "Oh, I don't have the support of their father there, right, all the time, or the presence of their father there all the time." Yeah. But I'm going to show you that it's not literally by yourselves. Right? And I know there's probably a lot of sisters out there and brothers who say, "Oh, that's not exactly what they mean." And I go, "Yeah, but let's take it for the actual fact that somebody's saying that." You know, and where does that put us men, right? Or the other partner, because there are men that raise children singular by themselves as well, or by themselves again, you see. Right? But the point is that we need to get that support somewhere, right? If you don't know, somebody else can know and help, can guide you, can represent you. You understand? This is why we have those other people who have skills, and we need to learn how to utilize those services, those skills around us for us to attain that quality of life that we want to live as well. Yeah.
So, and we're speaking about the education system and the benefits of the education system. One of the disadvantages of the education system is you need to do it alone. So that means you may not be encouraged to work together unless it's a project, a joint project where Sandra and Aston are working together in order to build that airship. So we get the encouragement. But when we're sitting down and we're doing our maths, technically we're supposed to be doing it on our own. And when we're doing our exams, we sure as hell best do it on our own, or we're being classed as cheating. Or you write your assignment and we write it together, and because we write it similarly, we're thinking along the same lines, it becomes plagiarism, which one of us is using each other's language. So it becomes, see, for me, you are discouraged to ask for help, depending on the environment, the wider environment, because the schooling system encourages you to say, you've got to stand on your own. It's you one in front of the blackboard, or in front, standing up saying, or holding up your hands, teachers asking, what's the answer to this question? It's me one holding up my hand. And the answer is coming from me. But again, there needs to be a slight shift to that, whereby once you come out of the education system, asking for help and accepting the help are different sides of the same coin, but we don't, like you say, often ask for help. So we don't ask for coaches. We don't ask for the mentors. We don't put ourselves forward as a coach or a mentor to help others in the past. And I remember sitting down in a work environment, and the person speaking says that they asked for a coach. And I'm thinking, you asked for a coach? Why are you asking? But unless they'd said it out aloud, I wouldn't have thought it was normal.
Exactly.
Yes, he's gone through his whole career, and as he's advanced up the ladder, he's had a coach along the way or had a mentor along the way. And in theory, actually, sometimes he says he's had 2 or 3 coaches because they're helping him with different aspects of what he needs
Can
to
you
get wants to go.
can you repeat that last? Can you repeat that last piece? Can you repeat that last piece, please?
He, from a coaching point of view, he's asked for a coach, and he at points in his career he's had more than one coach because he recognizes there's certain things that he needs to work on. So he's had different coaches to help him work on in different areas. But the fact is that he asked for a coach. He sought out a coach. He sought out the support of someone else. And a coach is different from a mentor, but he sought out the different elements to help them or him progress. And if we think about, we touched a little bit on politics in terms of the UK and those who have gone through the public or the private system, and the private system will be more akin to the seeking out and asking for the help. So they will be setting you up and encouraging you. And you can see it when they come out of the education system, whereby they talk about jobs for the boys. Or did you get it via the nepotism, or did you get it because you actually worked hard?
Oh boy, yeah. I've seen it, and I've experienced the victims of nepotism in that way. Eased out of your work and out of your job through nepotism. And then you know the old one is that they ask you to train up this inexperienced person to come and take your job.
Yes.
That seems to be a regular move, like to put on really. Yeah, listen.
But let's talk about. So I know last week, and I don't know whether or not you heard me talking about chess. And I don't know, because I know there was a poor connection.
Yes.
So what I'd heard on the radio was the presenter saying, "Why are you teaching young children chess when you should be teaching them dominoes? Because dominoes has a skill of its own."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go. You have to roll that little bit back, because obviously there's a basis behind this, right? There's a base behind it. Explain the base behind that. Yeah, basis of thoughts behind this thing.
So, for me, the basis of thought is, or looking at it in terms of the media. So I'm going to do it back to front. So the basis, the presenter saying that dominoes is a game which uses the mental agility. And it's a game which is played on street corners up and down Jamaica. And currently there is a dominoes competition which has just started. And in Bay, they had all the top domino players in that area, that region, coming together and go effectively playing for a long period of time on, I think it was about 2 Sundays ago, in order to see which ones were the best ones that would be going forward to the next round of the competition. So dominoes is a mind game. It's a mental game. It's there's the reading of the dominoes. It's just not it's not only matching, because I used to sit down.
You have to read. How
did you know that your those dominoes in his hand, and everyone's shielding their dominoes like children will shield. You're sitting down at an exam and you don't want the next person, your brother, the next person on the desk to read what you're writing. And everyone's shielding their dominoes, but they all know that the good players know what's in your hand.
Yeah.
And what they're aiming to work out is, okay, there's no point me playing this, because if I play this, you're going to effectively play that domino, and I'm not going to be able to play. I'm going to have to say pass. So there's a whole
science behind it.
And science. Science is the right word behind it. So when I heard the presenter talking about it, I thought to myself, okay, that makes sense. Why would you teach children chess, which isn't a game which is well known in terms of the Caribbean? You don't see children sitting at the side playing chess. You'll see 4 people sitting at the side, 2 people even, or 3 people sitting down playing dominoes. And it's when I looked at the paper and I thought to myself and read the article in the paper, it made better sense.
Yes.
We're looking at children who are, how did they define the children? They said children who troubled students often fall short of the mark. So they're looking at children with special needs. So they're not seeing dominoes as the answer to help those children with special needs, even though in theory it can still work, but they're thinking about chess and getting a grant or getting support in terms of chess and teaching the children with special needs. Chess.
Oh, I see.
Point of view. So I understand it, because they need those paths and those neurons to be connected, focused, and chess gives that to you. Chess also gives it to you over a longer period. Dominoes, as much as you're reading it, that's a game that could be finished in little or no time.
Yeah. But the thing with me, I used to play chess when I was in my junior school, and we used to that used to be the thing. That used to be the thing. Chess and table tennis, right? When it was rainy days, and obviously, as you grow up, it's cards, dominoes, whatever, right? But chess was always that strategic movement. And it was more complicated than what we would say dominoes was, right? Because dominoes, obviously, if you knew the cards, how they came, how to read them and everything, But like it was always that challenging aspect of it, And when they started talking about masters, because Bobby Fischer, he was the man of the time and all them things there, And it was just a thing. This man come up and about he's a master player and all them things there, right? It's just chess, Chess is just chess. What you deal with, But like it was one of those things that it was cognitively stimulating. And I say cognitively, in other words, the wheels would be turning with it,
Yes.
And I've got a caller on the line. Who I'm trying? It's Brother Icon. Brother Icon. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
The God rises.
In wonderful conversation, this show. Wonderful conversation.
Yes.
I first get introduced to chess when I went to high school. And my first high school, I was part of the chess club. It's a very interesting game. One of my favorite games, to be honest. I've never really found other people to play with since I was older. But what the greatest thing is, technology just brought it on the phone, so you can get that software, you can play against the computer. You turn the levels all the way up. So when I play chess, I put it at the highest level and play against the computer.
So you're a master chess player then?
I'm in the top. I would say I'm in the top 10.
Well done.
Make you teach you patience. I but they're in pairs. You know what I mean? You should know anyway, you know what I mean? And since we're talking about the dominoes with special needs in Jamaica, and that kind of works for something in my head. When you play dominoes, at the end of the game, you're supposed to, the one that's got no domino left is the winner. Right? When you're playing chess, you take over a kingdom, so you end up with 2 kingdoms. You start with 1 kingdom, so you end up with 2 kingdoms. Because when you basically take that king out, you basically take his kingdom. You know what I mean? So with the power of that, it's like you're adding on. So it's teaching you to multiply instead of take away. So the concept of domino, when I look at it, it's a game I love from Jamaica. You know, we grew up on that game, but looking at the concept of it, because right now the world is playing chess, not even playing jobs, not domino, it's playing chess.
Actually, you are so right there. You're so right there, sir. You're so right there.
Great analysis, Sandra. But Sandra, I've got a few questions for you this morning based on the conversation you've been having. So since we're talking about education, I'm not sure, are you familiar with the Hard Trust in Jamaica?
No.
Okay.
I can become familiar, but it's not at the moment.
And I want to do some research on it so you get the understanding why I started to look about it. It's a program in Jamaica that's been there for years. It's basically a training program. If you have got money and you went to school and you didn't get that qualification, it's a government-funded organization where they give you money to come to where it is. So you get lunch money, you get traveling money. You go to your studies for any skills that you think you want to do. You get a certificate, and with that certificate, they put you into employment. They give you a bank account, and they put you in employment straight away.
Wow.
Yes. So that's very much the Hard Trust. So definitely do some research on that, my sister, and let's talk about it.
I know that the last year I was seeing that there was how would they call it? Like when you bring a young person in to get experience, and they were doing that
apprenticeship.
Not apprenticeship. It's just like for a short period, though.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks. Yeah, like work experience. But they were doing that in all the offices in the parliament. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then they were rolling it out across like the industries in Jamaica as well.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought to myself, that is a very, very, very good thing, because mainly because there's a lot of young people who do not see the value or experience the value of what Jamaica as an island has, because their aspirations are to get the education and leave. You know, and like obviously in them playing that part of like experiencing and seeing what's happening here in Jamaica, it may sway them to say, you know something, I could get my education and be part of the development of Jamaica or any of the islands, really, because they all require an infrastructure and support for that infrastructure as well, you know. So it's not everybody has to run off to China or America or the Europes to actually get a living or make a living in that way, you
know. Yes, and I think that's coming off the back of to be quite honest, it depends how you're growing up in Jamaica, because I said to you, for me, my experience when I was young, when I was a pilot, and I think from 10 or 11 years old, weekends, Easter holidays, summer holidays, Christmas time, he take me to work for him with him. And by the time I reached 18, you know what I mean, I was like a professional pilot. He could leave me to actually start anywhere, and he was confident that, you know what I mean, the jump was on top of it. And after working with that for years, I kind of felt get bored, because, you know, working your father is like, you know, your father all the day, 24/7, it's like, you kind of yourself after the stage. So I did a course with Hart and did data entry. That was just when they were entering data into the search engine for Google. So they gave Jamaica a contract. So basically, you go in the daytime, you would scan barcodes and you would type information into the Google search engine for them to find information about things. So I was doing that for about a year, and that was like shirt and tie every day, sitting in front of a computer. And after a year, I just walked out. I said, no, I can't do this no more. It's too boring. So
time for change.
Programs are kind of there, and it's like, I think the same thing Jamaicans here, and some of them they don't really, and I wouldn't really want to say it's on education or they don't really understand, but no for them to really explore these options. You know what I mean? So a lot of them are really naive about it. Some of them know about it and they look at it probably like a low-graded thing that is, you know what I mean? It's like for the worst of the worst, but there's opportunities like this, you know what I mean? Even when you're talking about most of the Jamaicans leaving, because it's a stigma in Jamaica where foreign better than Jamaica.
Exactly.
And you know, as soon as the parents of a child are very educated, the first thing they're saying, go and get a visa so they can fly to America, England, so they can get more money. That they're looking at, they go away because they're making more money, send them back home, they build the house bigger, you know what I mean, to take care of mom and or take care of family. So they're pushing them otherwise to go away. Whereas there's a mindset where the family will come together and say, no, you could get qualified, come down here, you could get qualified. We're expected to put money in our food, and we'll either try to open a family business.
Exactly.
To make money for family versus going away. Because I said, a lot of them left, you know, with the qualifications, you know, when it comes to a foreign country, especially when you don't grow up in there, it's a different, for me, the experience was very like a culture shock to me. Like it take a years. If you're coming from Jamaica and coming to America, it takes years to really fit in and understand the system, especially if you don't have nobody guiding you. You have to be learning by your own mistake. And come from Jamaica, it's totally different. So certain things we think you probably would, European Jamaica, it's not. You have to teach yourself as you go. If you don't really have people to support it, it's very hard for you to manage.
There you go.
When you live from foreign country to the next, very, very hard. You know what I mean? And so most of these people that go away, they end up into some jobs that they would never do in Jamaica. You know what I mean? Because certain situations reach them, you know what I mean, whatever it is from relationship or work or racism or whatever. They do the job they want to do. When you call them and ask them what they're doing in foreign country, they tell you thinking, but you look to me as a qualified person, how the hell they're doing that job?
That has been that's right.
Like for them to want to come back now, they feel shame. So
that's right.
They stay there for years and they just wither out in the wilderness.
This is the situation of so many of the ones that did come from the Caribbean and the Africas, because when they got that invitation to come to the motherland and help to rebuild, they thought, right, yes, we're gone up in our life now. And then when they come here and find out, said that these people don't even know how to wipe their own backside, they said, what's all this? What's all this? Yeah. And then obviously, you know what? They a lot of them stuck it out, and they made a life. They built families, new families, and everything else, right? And now we're the generations and the second and third generations of those who came from that travel or mass migration, you know. But even though our education, we're supposed to use our services. I keep saying services. You know what it is? The reason why I'm saying that is because I'm doing a course at the moment, so I've got that in my head at the moment. And yeah, we're supposed to be using our skills not only for ourselves, right? But for the betterment of others as well.
Yeah.
As much as we can, you know. But at the same time, right? Life goes on. Life goes on, irrespective if the government is getting broke or whatever. Life goes on. You know, life goes on, and we need to be able to, as Brother Icon is saying, make our own family businesses now, right? Come together, work together, you know, develop together. Yes, Sister Sandra, what are you saying about that?
So, in mentioning chess, that's a game that I also played when I was younger, and having two brothers playing the game. And also, I played it a lot when my brother next to me, when he passed away, and it just gave me an element of solace. And I'm still thinking, because it encourages you to keep thinking. So it encouraged me to keep going, even though I was going through the grieving and the mourning process. So my older brother, what he ended up doing was joining, and the brother spoke about online. So he's played online and played with friends online and in large communities, but it just encourages you from that thinking point of view and that thinking process. But then the brothers spoke about the trust, the heart trust in terms of Jamaica. So I know that I'd heard the term recently, so I was just done a quick search, and the government has removed fees for all programs of up to level 4 in relation to the heart trust. So they're putting money into that. So I'm going to look into it a little bit more and just do some more research in relation to what the brothers encouraging me to do. And it's just being here on the ground. Some of the things that I'd like to talk about is the positive elements of what's happening in Jamaica, and it appears from the Heart Trust there appears to be some positives that A, the brother alluded to, but B, may still be happening in relation to from a budget point of view and reducing the fees. So I just need to look into that a little bit more.
Okay then. Okay, we could come back and talk about that on another show, you know? Right? Betterment and furtherment.
Yes.
Anything else, my brother Icon?
Yes, right. Definitely wonderful. I'm glad you definitely touched on it. You find it very interesting. I see that colonization is very old. So when I was young, I came on, when I was born, I heard about it. You know what I mean? I experienced it, and you know, it's great to see still there because I think it's very valuable. Yes, my brother, you spoke about the African Continental Union Party.
Right.
I was talking about yesterday. And, you know, the brother talking about 2 points to join. And yesterday, I think it's a great initiative. I don't know if you're just familiar with Nigerian election. I went and did some research and I was watching it and everything. But they wanted to build a system which is computerized. So basically, they get the ID. And they validate who you are, and then on the day you basically come with that like ID card, you swipe it, so it registers you for vote. You vote who you're gonna vote for. So it's like it's counting digitally. Okay. They did a test running it before the Nigerian election. Everything was okay. I think they did a local election test really came back good. But on the day when the Nigerian election was supposed to go, after sudden the computer system was not working. So they had to do it with paper, and then it got rigged and all this, and you know the whole story. So a couple of times I see they try to bring English to Jamaica, and you know, it's like it didn't really work out. But I think digital election to do voting, I think it's the way going forward.
Of course it will.
Technology. I don't understand what they want to do, but I do in a sense because they know if they do that, the election cannot be rigged.
Exactly.
Really, truly, when you vote, it was what considered the vote in real time, so nobody has to.
Exactly.
There's no cheating. They don't want to bring that in because they know the repercussion, because there won't be any chosen leaders. They will actually
there will be no form of manipulation or anything. It'll just be blatantly there, right? Obviously, it would have to be a totally independent, secure system that they could use, right? Because you know how Russia like to put their little 2 pence in and sabotage certain things. Right? So it was alleged. So it was alleged,
to put a proper leader in, so to make the proper leader win, they have to divert the vote onto them, because if they get the real graphics off the ground, it'd be a different story. And that's why most people are not even encouraged, because when the election across the popular world, the first world, second world, third world countries, you don't get a majority turnout because people are fed up with politicians. Because they see the same thing every time, you know. So, and another woman I want to give Sister Sandra to do. There's a party in Jamaica, I don't know if you heard about it, they're called the United Independent Party. And the leader is called Joseph Patterson. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
No, I know that there's a new party. I don't know how long have they been, is it within the last
5 years? And I don't know if he was down there when the COVID, there was a brother that was doing a demonstration that he's not about the COVID and saying, my body, my soul, or something like my body. Basically, he was doing a campaign for people to resist the vaccine in Jamaica, and he got locked up. Are you familiar with him?
No,
I'm not familiar.
Okay, so let me just give you some information. It's called the United Independent Party, and the leader is called Joseph Patterson. He's got a YouTube channel. He goes around a lot of community. So he's very active. I would say he's the third active party in Jamaica, close to the two main parties. So he's done a lot of groundwork with people. He lived abroad for a while. He's very good in computer science and I think money management, because he used to manage some multi-million companies in Jamaica. But where he's coming from a common law. He talks about human rights a lot. He talks about people violating, and he even breaks down to the fact how the current government right now, the way they set the allocation for funding for parties that's recognized in Jamaica, he's probably getting a 10% or 10% of what he's supposed to get to help his party fund themselves. And he's basically saying when they have most of these meetings where the parties that's representing people are running for office, they don't invite him, they allow him, so like most of Jamaica don't know about him. But if you listen to the way he speaks, he's very convincing. The way he talks about human rights, or the law and the transition and the plan that he had if he gets elected to come into power, because he's talking about a total different type of government system in Jamaica. He's more talking to work with the people and grassroots of. So if somebody would like you to get some time, I'll probably look into him and probably look on YouTube for some of his presentation, and then listen to some of the things that he's putting for. But very, very interesting. But I would say. They're all politicians at the end of the day. I know they're very good at talking, but what he's bringing up, I've never heard anybody in Jamaica politics talk about it. So he's really talking about human rights and that's what I really like.
We could learn from his impetus as well. We could learn from him as well, because we need something to really kick our backside over here, Sato, as well. So as it's no, it's true. Come on now. We're supposed to be the jewel of the education system and everything. And look at us, we can't even function properly in a one thing. Huh? Come on now. Right? We're allowing other cultures to come and overtake us overnight. So
no, I will check him out, because I know that again I'd heard I don't think it was on the television, because I don't tend to watch the television. I'm more listening to the radio, and they were interviewing someone who was talking in terms of politics. He's new in the game, and what he was saying was refreshing. So if I hear the brother talking, Mr. Patterson, Joseph Patterson, that you refer to, if I hear him talking, I may then make the link to say, yes, that was a person I heard on the radio previously. But what he was saying was refreshing from a political point of view, in terms of how the parties are operated this side of the water, which for me as an outsider, I just don't like the flavor. It's not a nice taste in the mouth. And historically, I've heard Mutabaruka talking about historically and the politics over here. Again, it just left a really unpleasant taste in what are we aiming to achieve.
No, but then it's always been a thing of that is self, isn't it?
It's just it seemed, I don't even know, I wouldn't even necessarily say if it was the self, I don't think it would be bad. But it's just the fact that there was the way that it's just been designed. I don't know if designed is the right word. It feels right, even though it doesn't sound right. But the way that it's constructed just doesn't.
Let me help you, okay? There's a stigma in Jamaica where them call everybody needs to hustle. Like, if you're working somewhere, you're getting paid, but you're supposed to still take something from the employment. The culture in Jamaica, and it's very nasty.
I agree.
People like themselves, when they go into power, they still need to have a little payback, a little backhand coming. So that's how, with everything with contracts in Jamaica, people get elected. You become the party leader in a certain era. It's all about money. So they bring money to people in election time. So they that's what Jamaica is, always hustling. They always need to get something on top of what they can pay. It's like it makes the whole demographic of Jamaica. Everybody got that mentality. If you're working somewhere, they can hustle and get something on top of the pay. They're not interested.
Well, that bit I understand, and that bit I've been aware of over the years. And that also leaves a terrible taste in the mouth. But it seems endemic. Is that the right word? It just seems like you say.
You're 100% right.
The culture.
It is embedded, unfortunately, and that's what I'm saying to you. This, I think, what the other day I was saying to myself, this is what I would love, and because he's trying to do a lot of things, but I would like a government just kind of have a reform where they just change, just wipe the plate clean, wipe the plate clean, and give them a street strike rule. What they have before, whatever done, because I think that's what's going to change. Because I don't see anything is coming in small. It needs to be like that. I was saying the ID card is very because that's one of the things that's with the experience is like locating people. Because when it comes to addressing of old people accountable, it's kind of not easy to find people if you don't want to find them, if you understand what I mean. Because somebody might have an address for somebody, but they're not necessarily there all the time. Not like you understand what I mean. Do you understand what I mean by that? Big factor. Yeah, so it's kind of hard for them to locate people because they need to hold them accountable. So I think the system, the reform system, and kind of get people proper ID'd up. I think it will change people in terms of thinking how much they can get away with certain things. So they'll be located. But funny enough, Jamaica is really open in town because there was my sister was talking to, she lives in Arnegard area, and she told me the other day they came there for a wanted man. And it's like when the police squad, the special squad came in, it's like everybody in that vicinity phone couldn't work. So they put a blank. If you want to call somebody for it's like they lock out the phone system. So it just shows you, but you have to remember, Jamaica is the Chinese are in Jamaica. So all those high technologies, the government is bringing to you right now, because when it comes to even drones, that's the next thing I'm hearing. The police force is using a lot. They're using drones a lot to find people, and that's why they've been getting there's so much done. So the Jamaica is very, very advanced. That's something the country is so advanced. In Jamaica, you can do so much things online from in England. If you got business in Jamaica, you don't need nobody. You can pay all your bills. You can do everything from abroad. So the technology in Jamaica is there. So I don't think they're really looking at and really exploring how to, do a lot of things. There's so much they can do in Jamaica if you really put your mind to it. To understand the crime situation and danger. But, if you really study it and see the system work, you can one way structure it. There's opportunities there.
No, I definitely agree with you on that one.
The thing is, my brother, life is moving on. A lot of us are stuck in our ways of how we view a lot of our peoples from the islands, right, and from the Africas, and they don't give them the accreditation of what they deserve. Very unfortunately, in that way, But as time goes on, they will just show us how things go on. They'll show us, They will show us, right? Also, what other articles have you got, my sister? What other articles have you got?
So I sent you something. So again, if we're thinking, so if you played that, but I'd spoken before in terms of I'm recognizing that the road system and the transport system in Jamaica has advanced since I remember coming way back in 1976.
1900. I like the way you. 1900. Go on with it.
The road system has, what back in the day was always a challenge. And in some senses, I actually prefer it to be the way it was, because the drivers don't necessarily know how to drive on the road. They often drive with speed rather than respect. But they're fixing up the roads, and there are parts of the road where it's beautiful. You could be driving some parts of the road. You could be in the UK. It feels that good. It drives that well. And we're talking about the highways and the byways. So that will take you through 2/3 of the country to some degree, some of those connector roads. But then I've on my last couple of journeys, I've come here and I've seen a man who's just literally patching the road. He's just going along and he's just patching the road. And sometimes the cars will beep him and sometimes the cars won't beep him. But for me, and I stopped and I spoke to him.
You've got your pot in your hand and you've got some things.
Oh, God, sorry. Go ahead.
No, so yes, a place. So I stopped and I spoke to him yesterday as I went out for my long walk.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a Sunday and he was doing what he's never in the same space at the same time. And that was the first time I saw him since we'd spoken the last time round, but on a regular basis. But in speaking to him, what he's doing, he recognizes that's his purpose. And he's just doing a service for the community, the wider community, who, when we talk about the government and the politics, they would have been given money to fix the roads. But because they skim the money, they don't use the correct compounds, the correct consistency. And that side of the island, the west side, Portland side, rains a lot. And the rain has a way of saying, if you're not put down firmly, I'm going to crack your ass. I'm going to change the compound. If you don't use the right consistency and you use too much water and you don't use the asphalt and you don't put the foundation down right, I'm going to dig you up, wash you away. And you've not got a gutter, you've not got the drainage, and in theory you've got the gutter and the drainage, but they don't clean them. So what my mother would speak about in terms of historically in the past, they used to be brushing down and cleaning and the road used to be beautiful, blah, blah, blah. That's not the case now. Now there's a reason why that happened, and that was part of the colonialism and the transportation and the trains working as it needed to take the goods from one side of the island to the other. However, that said, with the technology that we have and with the knowledge that we have, we can do better. The difference is that we don't do better because those who have the power and may have the resources from a funding point of view do not always put the money. The money's not spent for the roads. There's the siphoning off. So I stopped and I spoke to this brother. So if you just play the clip for me.
Yeah. Okay then. Okay. Right. Yeah. So this is a clip that our sister Sandra has put in for us.
Why are you doing what you're doing?
All right. Really and truly, really plan for this, you know? Come from Brisbane River, Eastland and Brisbane River. While we up there, my friend, we are with the people complaining about Boston Can buy Herald Flynn property.
Okay.
You cannot pass around there because the holes are only too deep. So me and my friend, so I go in there one idea, go fling some stone in the wall, you know?
Okay.
We went around there and start pop some stone in the wall. I'll take it from there, we will start telling where to go. We start go all over and start doing contribution. So we keep buying the cement, you know, look stand on the road or mall or anything like that. And just go and patch up the wall them.
Okay.
That's around 94, you know?
1994?
Yeah. My brother, you know, he stop come on the road. He stop come on the road for a while. Hold on for a while. Then the people them see me and ask me why I come fix the road. So from there I start fix back like about 16 years or so now, me alone fixing the road straight, you know.
So how do you fund it?
Well, there's a contribution by the cement.
Okay.
And patch up the wall and things. Sometimes I carry my own money out here, you know.
Okay.
Buy the cement, carry it out here, and then look the material.
Okay.
There's a contribution from the motorists. I ain't one passing by, you know what I mean?
Okay. And some of these motorists, none of the ones that we've seen so far stop, but that's probably because you're talking to me.
Yeah.
But well, I pray that some more will stop later so you can keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, a lot of people know about my things. Some of them contributed, some don't contribute. Some give half thing. Sometimes them pass and don't have anything to give now. They don't feel like to give anything today. So next time around, some give, some don't give. But to God be the glory, you know what I mean?
Alright.
There are a lot of followers, you know?
Alright.
Yeah. People love what I'm doing, you know?
I'm one of the followers, so keep doing what you're doing.
And we fix all about, not only on the main road alone, fix all the main thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to fix up Brownbrook, Medieval Road, Summerstone Road. You can name it, you know?
Around the area.
Yeah, all around the area.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, blessings.
Blessings.
Yes, that's our brother. What's the brother's name? What's the brother's name?
I didn't. You know what? It's now you're asking me. I always see you know, you nod and you wink, and you talk to the brother, but I didn't ask him his name.
Oh my word! Come on now.
I'm going to see him again. I'll see him again. I'll ask him his name, but I didn't ask him his name.
Is it any reason why you don't go to 10 o'clock?
Yes, because I have to go and clear for my mother.
Yes, okay, no worries.
Yeah. I have to go.
Cool.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Sanjay, for doing that, you know, and back off, this is what I'm saying to you, just take one, because back off what you're saying. This brother have two options. I don't know if he's got like a smartphone. If that brother has a smartphone and he's going to Instagram or Facebook and videos, people will stand in front of him because what he's doing is so amazing. Second thing, if he goes to the MP and he starts documenting what he's doing, and the community, as what you're saying down there, know him, go to the MP, you will get funding because Jamaica do these things. When you see people come out and do these type of things, they want to help you. I don't know if you're familiar, people talking about peanut bread. Have you seen a clip of peanut bread and Angel Owens Empress?
Yes.
Have I seen the...
You've seen that, son?
What's that?
The clip with a brother called Peanut Dread and Angel Owens.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Okay, I'm giving Sister Sandra so much homework today. I'm going to give you a situation, right? This brother now is called Peanut Dread in Jamaica. He's a YouTube activist, but he just talks about stories, life experience, and all the bad things he went through and how far he went. So you see this Angel got this slang where he says he's going to Radam, the bad man then. Radam, this thing we call Radam because Angel's name is broken because he's very charismatic. So he kind of taught the modern James lingo talking with the young people then. So instead, Radam means he's going to get rid of the bad man then, yeah? But this name Radam came from this YouTuber called Peanut Dread. So on his Peanut Dread went on his YouTube and said, Angel Owens, I'm building my house right now, poor man, and you know, I need some light, I need some window, I need some doors, I need tile, I need bathroom, whatever. See if I can't help me because I still using my word Radam. Angel Owens called him, give him money for finish his house and brought him into the parliament when he was doing the speech on the budget. And then he put him on his Instagram, put him on his YouTube page. So he's got a lot of followers now, and his career is being taken off from that. So they're showing you a little ordinary man, which if you look at that man and watch him with the elder man, you wouldn't even think Angel don't talk to somebody like that. So this brother that Sister Sandra just played with the pothole thing, he just needs someone to even put him on social media.
That's
and
right.
Reach out to the MP, and he will get help. Probably give him a little van with a little barrel because what he's doing is amazing. Because I know in Jamaica there's a lot of potholes, so that is very, very needed. You know.
Listen, if there was a whole crew of them man there, right? They'd be working all year round, you know, right? And the thing is, you know, the technology, because like I remember when I was there on Labor Day, right? And it's the first time I see man patch up road, so right? They put them all down and then get the tar and everything and put on there, and I go, rocks, don't look on this now. And I say, Lord, I saw people have to do it, and he go, well, if we don't do it, then nothing will get done, and all them. I go, wow. But this man here, as he says, he's been doing it from what was it, 1974. 1994, isn't it? He says he was doing it, right? But the thing is that look how long he's been doing that, right? And remember, it's a Sunday, you know, and the brothers out there doing them things there. So brilliant. Telling you.
I'll go back and I will get his name because he did say he does have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
Emphasize it. But yeah, I will go back and get his name. But no, he found his purpose. He's found his passion. It'd be brilliant if he can get the funding.
Some kind of support or something in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Outstanding work, my dear. Outstanding work. Careful, you know. Careful, you know. Don't let them journalists out there get jealous of you.
Different like this. I was just thinking about it. She was talking earlier that she realized the circle of journalists in Jamaica is very small. And it was saying to the day that I was talking that it's controlled by a certain elite to push certain narrative. And that's why the average Jamaican are not getting so they can arrive. The free stuff and negative, scary, tactic information and put everyone into panic. And I'm not giving people like there's options and choices that they can do.
Well, that's why we're here, Alex. And we pushed about as a conversation look for, and they're more pertaining to us as the Black community. You understand? Right. So you know, so education is a must, right? Yes, being involved within a form of social structure is a definite must, right? Unification is a definite must. You understand? Seeing what people are doing, appreciate what people are doing is a must as well, you know? So yeah, man. Yeah. Anyway, we're coming to the top of the hour now. We're coming to the top of the show. Right? So let's do a little summarizations here so now. Right? So we've covered our celebration. I love that. Yes. I love that celebration there. What that young man did. Right? Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna have to play it again. Isn't it? I'm gonna have to play it again. I'm gonna look for it and play it again. Right? I'm gonna have to look for it and play it again because that was truly inspirational. Right? That young man there. And the thing is that all those young people who are going through that process of going into universities, colleges, further higher education from junior to senior. Congratulations, right? Enjoy your life and enjoy the process of the education as well. Get the most out of it, right? Try not to be distracted by those things that will come up, unfortunately, as they do, right? Lastminute.com, brother Julius. Greetings, brother.
Yes, my brother. And it's good lastminute.com. Of course, I was listening to your program just now with Brother Icon and your sister Sandra.
Yes, right. Yes.
Yeah, the woman who he was. I mean, that is a good one. 1900. Yeah. I tell you what, we love that. That's the same time we're gonna be using now. 2000 and whatever. You know. Yeah. I tell you what, I was just, you see, this is where technology is great. So what I went and do actually, I just went into YouTube just now when you're talking about the man. I think the man is called Jerry Harris. Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Jerry Harris.
YouTube just now, I'm just put there, I mean, the man who patched the roads in Jamaica and everything. Of course, I saw him there. I saw a black man with a white beard. Maybe Sister Sandra will help me with that. I think it's called Jerry Harris and so on. So yeah, it's actually works them in Jamaica.
It might be the same person. I don't know.
Yeah, it might be the same person because that's what comes up or whatever it is. Jerry Harris. And it's a white beard man, dark skinned man and so on. So maybe Sister Sandra will help me there and say, well, yeah, I think the person kind of
I think she's looking it up. She's looking it up as we speak right there. So is that
yeah. So really, I'm not saying I'm lastminute.com, but that's what I was interested to say. I enjoy the what is it? The not the domino,
the chess, chess.
The chess playing as well, you know. Really. And domino as well, really. I mean, the very first time I pick up domino, actually, like because in Africa, actually, I think what they play more is what we call draft.
Drafts, yes, checkers,
draft. Yeah, draft. It is different from chess or whatever it is. In Africa, they have this black and white something that would look like square and it's draft. And then, like this part of the world, them or whatever it is, where they keep playing chess and all these sort of things, them, you know? Which is a very interesting game there. I mean, it takes your mind, it takes your way of thinking and all these sort of things. But man, so actually that's what I tried to bring to say, well, I think I find the name of this person, Jerry Harris. Maybe you can look it up. You might see the man who patched the road them in Jamaica. Like these little potholes and all this sort of things.
Can you see him, Sister Sandra?
I can't see because I'm looking at the face. So I'm doing the search as you speak.
On a baseball cap, like cream color, not deeply white, or maybe the dust have darky all the things in a way, you know?
Okay.
So that's what
I'll come back with his name next week, or next week on Friday.
Grand Rising, Elder Julia.
So anyway, all right then. Continue your show, my brother. Just let me just give a little bit of input in that.
Okay, then, great stuff. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, better.
I rise up here, Sandra. I really appreciate you, my Empress, to wake up this early in the morning and sharing information.
Wow.
I think we're doing a wonderful job.
Exactly.
More Jamaicans see what you're doing, boy. It definitely been some change in awareness of the island. So rise yourself on my sister. But that's time we'll catch up soon.
Okay. All right. Bless up, my brother.
All right.
Yes, that's our brother Icon right there, son, brother Julius, who joined us this morning on the Galaxy Morning Rises. We'll give it that name for now, all right? Until we see something else come true. Yeah?
Yes.
Right.
And to be fair, if we're thinking about our discussions today, and I don't know if you found the clip for the young man. He was ecstatic, excited about just getting into Morehouse and thinking about then from an education system and then the environment that he's going to be in that will give him a springboard to become anything that he wishes to become. But not only realizing then that becoming happens in the education system, it happens throughout life. So if you're not waking up this morning and you're thinking to yourself, you're jumping out of bed because you're really excited or you're really happy, then there may be another skill, another industry, another place of work that your energy will be better served. But use what you currently got as a springboard to get you to where you want to go. And that may be asking for a coach, that may be looking for a mentor, at the services that are out there and help. But if we're thinking about is it any different in the UK and Jamaica? It isn't. From an education point of view, from a support point of view, and there's some research that I'm going to do in relation to that, but they're looking at chess and bringing chess into the schools for children who have learning difficulties because they recognize the benefit of chess as a game. And when we think about chess as adults, I know that I learn and you've learned, and a number of the brothers and sisters listening will play chess, so they understand the benefit and the beauties of that within any system. But when we're talking about the system in terms of Jamaica, there are things that work well and there are things that don't work so well. And we're talking about politics that didn't necessarily work as well as it could do, should do. But then who are they learning from? That's another conversation. But we ended up speaking about the young man who, on a different tip, jumps out of his bed and goes and patches a road in different parts of Portland.
That's exactly.
Sees that as his passion and that's his purpose. So I'd go back to each and every one of us. Do we know our purpose?
Do we? Thank you, man. Nice. Yeah, man. Yeah. Do we actually know our purpose? Huh? All right. Let me see if I got it here.
Are you able to play the video as well as the audio, or
this is a young name bush?
No, not that one.
Not that
Canal that
one.
we're looking at.
Not that one. Not that one. Hold on, I've got it here. Hold on.
I know you got it. I know you.
Here we are.
Technology seems to be slowing you down. So we've got to pause there because Brother Aston is looking for the clip, and he's got the clip, and he's pressing the buttons, and the buttons aren't responding as he would have anticipated and or imagined.
Okay.
But it's coming.
That's it. So we played that one, right? Right. I want to say thank you once again for joining us on the Galaxy FOE.net Galaxy Morning Risings. Right. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to tell everyone that we are on the YouTube and we're on the Facebook Live and everything. So listen, when we come back again, we put that on there. So you're more than welcome to come and view us. Put us on your television, and we tell you the truth. And we tell you the truth vision. All right. So we'll be there. Okay. So our next time we'll be together will be on Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
Thursday morning afternoon.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be from 1 p.m. To 3 p.m. So that's the next time that we'll be together. I shall be back here on Wednesday morning, 7 to 9, and also on Thursday from 11 to 3, and we shall be back again here in the morning on Friday. Okay. So yes. So anyhow, let's move the day on, right?
Yep.
I know that will be next up. It will be Brother Kwame, right, along with his guest host as well, Cecil Gus Moore. Well, I hope that will be joining in this strong in this program there, the Griot Show as well. Okay, as I said, thank you for all those who joined us today, and we look forward to having a fantastic 7 days of prosperity in our future. So thank you once again. And we'll go out with this one here. One for you, Jamaica. One.
Jamaica like we love you. Me out there. Move up. Jamaicans move up. Move up.
All right.
All the Jamaicans move up. Hey, why? Down in Jamaica when we ball and grow. Everybody know we love it so. Travel the world but we always know Jamaica the land where we grow. Oh, Jamaica make a you so sweet. I'll be dance every night on the street. Everywhere you look at nothing sweet. Jamaican people love you too. Beautiful beaches with good people. Festival and fried fish so sweet. People scatting to this good reggae beat. Watch the woman them a bubble on the beach. Move up. Jamaicans move up.